Hello Tarot lovers and welcome to another episode here at Grand Tarot Readings. This will conclude for now my comparative research about the RWS edition, so the two Dutch editions and a miniature edition. So last time I showed you this one, and this is the big variety. So let's take the small variety here because that's the later version, huh? And that's more similar to the Kosmos one. So Kosmos is another publisher than Bert Bakker, and they got the rights. So if we compare this, that's really interesting. You see, so many things look the same. So the black squares around the things, huh? But you can see the font and the kind of type from lettering is different, and that's also important because if you're dating decks, it tells a lot about age, you know. So if you, for instance, see here publisher Bert Bakker, this is really 1970s like, and you see here, I mean, not just because of the ISBN, that's a big difference too, of course, but also the type of lettering, that's such a huge tell all about the time when something was published. So if you're dating, that's always that giveaway. So what's interesting here is that you see that, I mean, we went through the 70s and the 80s with these black and white Bert Bakker decks, and nobody noticed, oblivious people, that Coleman was misspelled. So they yet again went on and said, okay, let's do it like this. So I told you there are three varieties, and the first variety is three varieties of the colored one. The first variety is from Uitgeverij Kosmos, Utrecht, Antwerpen. That's always the same, Utrecht, Antwerpen. This also, and of course the backs and the fronts and the sides of the decks. Also within these varieties. Oops, this is for my administration. I always have a label there so I know which deck is which. So here you see immediately the back is the same. So that's again the magenta ink is there, but the paper is really different. And last time I showed you the two blank cards, and what's interesting here is that they don't, so you see they're hardly played with, if at all. I think it's so beautiful, huh? You can see I mean, they're pretty old. They're from I believe these are, well, you have to look it up on Etsy, 1980s, 1990s. I'm not good with dates memorizing, so that's why I write everything down. But anyways, they're like brand new. Box okay-ish. So the blank cards, they monetized that, and they said we can use it for marketing purposes. And with every deck, from the three Cosmos variations, this card is the same. And it's a literature card and says, vraag uw boekhandelaar ook naar de volgende boeken van Uitgeverij Kosmos. So this means ask your book dealer to the following books also published by publisher Kosmos. The only thing that changes is the publisher name here on. And this is interesting. Here there's a little story about these cards and that they're made by Pamela Coleman-Smith with the typo. And it also refers to het geheim van de tarot van Eden Gray. So the Secret of Tarot by Eden Gray. And they want you to buy that book as well. And interestingly, they have this ISBN here. And now look clearly. Hey, they made a mistake. It's the same ISBN as the deck of cards. So this was also a mistake they made. Oh my God, how I love mistakes. There are collectors who are very much into mistakes. And I must say that I tend to grow more fond of mistakes because it's the peculiarities and the anomalies that are so interesting. So here we have another version of that deck, and the box is actually so pristine besides this awful thing. So how people can mistreat boxes. And I know there are card people who say, yeah, well, who cares the box? It's a functional thing. But for a collector, it's different. And here you see that's from the same time frame. It's also with the same ISBN typo. Or not typo, it's just plain mistake. So moving on to the next one, it's still the same, everything's the same. So these are not a variety difference, they're the same, they're from the first variety. But here we notice a small difference. Let's see, this is number, I called it 1C. And then they finally caught the mistake and said, oh yeah, the ISBN is different for the book by Eden Gray. So here they adjusted that. And as you can see, this is a pristine deck, and this is a very awful card. Well, a bit awful, but this is actually from a donor deck, because here that card was missing. So I used a donor deck, a very deck in very bad shape, and that's then a donor deck for the other decks. And let's see, where do I have the one that I need now? Of course, it's not here. Ah, here it is. Okay. This is the second variety, and that's because here ISBN changes and you can see the name changes. Veen Uitgever, so Veen Publishers is LG Veen, and this is the same Utrecht Antwerpen. The rest is all the same. The typo is the same. The rest of the deck is the same. You can also see here the typography of these Dutch cards by Bert Bakker, as well as these ones. I like that very much. So here they have a new ISBN for the book by Eden Gray, but these cards are also all the same. So that's the second variety. And Veen is actually, it's just another name. And then after all, oh, I forgot one thing. I would want to say it's important, but, well, what's important? Here you see this, huh? They call this a thumb thing, so that you can take the cards out easily. And Veen did something different. Veen didn't do that. So here with Veen, you see they don't have the cutout here, that thumb cutout. Here it's square. So then we go to the last one. I forgot one here, but that's okay. That was one of the first variety as well. Or was there something special with this? I believe there was something special with this one, but I forgot what it was. Oh yes, this is also one with an error. So this is so interesting. Instead of, this is variety 1, instead of the two marketing cards, the Book of Eden Gray is missing here. And what do we have here? An extra The World card. So this must have happened with packaging. Somebody made a mistake and packed 2 World cards. How about that? Well, I truly love mistakes, as I said before. So that was the first edition. And now we're going to the third edition of the colored ones. Yes, this is 3A. And here you see a huge change. So there's a barcode here. And on the other side, yes, of course, the thick-skulled Dutch. I can say that because I'm Dutch. Pamela Colman-Smith. Now we're in the 1990s and they still didn't catch up on that mistake. Normally we're not so dumb. Well, maybe we are, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, well, that was what it is. And as I mentioned before, if cards have a tendency of coming out a bit hard, I don't want to push it too much. So I do it like this and I take it out like this. And then you don't damage the box. So at least not so much. So after I made this video, there's no need for me to take them out anymore. So here we are again. Everything more or less the same, but this cardstock has a very different feel. It's more papery. I don't know how to say it. It's not so glossy. And here you see a complete break. So suddenly there is this card, so the literature card is much smaller, and now, oh yeah, I should have pointed it out, huh? So now it's Kosmos-Z&K. So Veen was an intermission period, and now it's Kosmos-Z&K, and now they also have a card here which still refers to the book by Eden Gray, and it has a new ISBN number because the cards also have a new ISBN. Everything has a new ISBN because they're a new publisher once again. So of this one, I believe I have 3 as well. So yeah, in different ways, shapes and sizes. But I've been too lengthy again, so I must stop here. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it didn't confuse anymore, but it should have shed some light. Yeah, love to hear from you. Bye bye.